So my family is just loving this recipe for grits right now. I call them jalapeno popper grits because I'm using a lot of the ingredients that I like to put in my jalapeno poppers. Now you can get the ingredients for this at a grocery store called ALDI, and I'm going to use those ingredients in addition to some from my garden. And so I like to start with this bacon, which I have pre-cooked. And this bacon is so delicious. I recommend paying the extra $2 or $3 to get this brand. I get the applewood smoked or the hickory smoked. And I cook the entire package. I'll just put them on a pan in the oven at around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll cook them for about 20-25 minutes and then drain it and let them cool, and then I'll wrap them up in some paper towels and just stick them in my freezer for things like this dish or omelets or chef salad. There's so many ways that I can use this. And I'll use some jalapenos, which I have previously frozen, and some scallions. Now, of course, you can get those at Aldi along with the grits and the chicken broth. So on medium heat, we'll add our chicken broth and the whole milk and a good pinch of salt. And I will leave the measurements down below the video for you. I'm making 4 servings. And then in go the jalapeno peppers. And I like to just cut in the bacon. I usually will put in about 1 slice per serving. And I like a lot of ground pepper, so with this little pepper mill, I will turn it upside down and it's charged with a USB cord, and then it comes on with the light and just starts grinding away. I'll leave a link down below the video if you'd like to check it out. And we will get these steaming real good. Now, if we were cooking this with water, I'd bring it to a boil. But since I'm using the milk along with the broth, it would just be a mess if it came to a boil. So on medium heat, I'm just bringing that up to a nice steam. And when I see some steam coming off of it, I'll whisk in my grits. Now, I make my grits a little bit thick, so my recipe is going to be a little bit on the thicker side. But grits are very forgiving. You can always thin them out with a little bit more milk or broth towards the end if you want to, but they're so much harder to thicken, so I make mine a little bit thick. And we will cook these probably about 5 to 7 minutes until it starts to thicken. Won't take long at all. These are the quick cook grits. And when I see that they're starting to bubble like that, I like to put a little lid on there. So just to let a little bit of the steam escape, I'll crack the side of it. Just because grits can start to get a little messy. They can start popping out of the pot, or spitting, as some people say. So you don't want that. Let's keep them in the pot. And just a couple more minutes. I wanted to check on them and make sure the consistency's looking good and nice and creamy, which it is. And now it's time to add the cheddar cheese. And we want to make sure to add sharp cheddar cheese or extra sharp. Don't go for mild cheddar cheese. There's no flavor in mild. I'll put down the measurements below for what I'm using, but cheeses vary so much in their flavor. I like to start by adding a little bit and then I'll taste, and if it needs more, I'll add a little bit more. I think I ended up using about 3/4 cup for this pot of grits. So just like I said, taste as you go and make sure that you are reaching the taste that you want. You really don't need a lot of salt in here because you have bacon, you have the cheese, and we added a little bit of salt at the beginning, and of course you have the chicken broth too. So they were perfect, and it's time to plate them up for dinner. So there are the grits, and we'll top them with a little bit of the green onion or the scallions, whatever you like to call them, and then some fried eggs over medium along with some wheat toast. So I hope you can give this a try soon. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.